Okay, so today is May the 17th, 2026, and this will be the first release of several of the tools that I've created over the last 15 years. And over the next several months, I plan on releasing more. And so if you like what you see today, please hit the like button and definitely the subscribe. These tools are very useful. So what we're looking at today is an Apple chart, blank chart, shows the earnings at the bottom. All of the uh, tools I'm going to be releasing today are surrounded by what the earnings report. And right now we've got four listed on this Apple chart. The first tool that I want to release is an anchored VWAP. And that's the yellow line there. So every time an earnings report comes out, the anchored VWAP anchors itself to the reporting day and starts calculating the cumulative volume until the next report, and then it resets. Same thing here, resets up here. Uh, it's pretty self-explanatory. The only option that you have on this is whether you want to show the multiples. Multiples are set at 1.5. That's the derivative or deviation. And that'll show you, I think most traders use 2.0, but you could set that deviation for whatever whatever ratio you like. You can go down 0.8, see what happens, see how it tightens up. Anything I release today, if it can be plotted, it can have a scan that looks for it. So on a later date, I am going to release several of these scans that look for price action around the VWAP with the inside the deviation. And on some of those scans, I am going to put that ratio at 0.5 so that the scan only looks for things that are close to the VWAP. Okay, and let's take this off. The other thing that you should know about this particular tool is, let me see, AMD. Yeah, AMD just gave a report here within the last about 15 days. We could try it. Uh, Here's one of the limitations. If you're using a 5-minute chart, let me go back. Okay, so the anchored VWAP is 432.66. If you use a 5-minute chart and the earnings report is not within this time frame, it will not show up. So you need to expand the time frame. What do we say, 20 days? There we go. And it'll show up. Now, there are some. Now, let's say you're zoomed into Google on a 5-minute chart and you're wanting to day trade it, or, you know, not an extended swing trade, let's put it that way. So it's not showing up in the chart. Uh, what I've done is show the label. Click yes. It'll bring the label up showing you where it is uh, at all times, so that label will stay there. However, if you choose the label option, the VWAP plot went away. And that's kind of serving another purpose also is if you don't want the VWAP plotted on your chart because you have moving averages or whatever kind of indicator you've got on there, if you just don't want to see it but you want to know where it is, then you can choose uh, show me the label. And the plot goes away, label comes up, gives you exactly where it is. So that is basically the anchored VWAP. Now, what I want to show you is, let's go back to the day. Okay, the next tool that I want to show you is anchored to the earnings report also. And what it's going to do is it's going to calculate the volume profile, earnings report to earnings report. So for every earnings report, it resets and recalculates the value area and adds the point of control. So we just had an earnings report from Google. It restarts recalculating the volume profile and also the point of control. Now, this is also going to be scannable. And what I like to do is most traders use the 70% value area, where 70% of the price action happens within this cloud. But when I do my scans, I like to find price action that's a little bit closer to the point of control. So I will tighten up that 70 and make it 50. That tightens up the cloud area here. And when I do a scan or a search, I can search within either an upper between the POC and this value area high or lower and match them to other uh, indicators that I use, such as the squeeze. That's pretty familiar to most people. And so if you're looking for something around the point of control, when I release a scan, that's not one of the scans I'm going to release today. That'll be for a later date. That's why I said you need to subscribe to this channel because I've got a lot coming down over the next couple of months. So whenever you do the scan, you can set this for a certain level or a certain ratio and get it closer to the point of control. So this one is pretty simplified also. Now, let's look at find okay, the Micron, it started on the last earnings report. Most of the price action has happened down here, even though price has come up here. Let's see, what about Netflix? Netflix, here's a good one. And the reason why I said this is a good one is because we got a big gap up here, even though it was not an earnings report gap. So let's just look at something. Anchor VWAP. See, the Anchor VWAP does not adjust just for any gap. It only adjusts for the earnings report. So I'm going to take that back off. Let's do 50% here because these are pretty wide. Uh, let's do a 50. And see how these boxes or these cloud areas tighten up. Now, earnings report, right this day right here. We had a gap down. Everything starts the calculation here, but you notice that the cloud area is not in this area at all. It was at the 70, but it what this is saying is 50% of the price action since the earnings report has happened up here. And then we had an earnings report and it starts recalculating again. But this is how you can use that percentage. Let me put it back to 70. You'll see the difference. Okay, watch how this will drop back down to here. See there? So 70% of the price action has happened within this box, but 50% of it happened between this date and here. So it's just another way to use this. That is the two indicators or tools that I'm going to release. Now, the last thing I'm going to release is a scan. And since everything is centered around the earnings report, I thought that releasing my earnings winter scan would be appropriate. Now I have this set for all optional, and that's the way it's going to come to you when I share the scan. However, you can put it look in all stocks, indices, funds, uh, whatever. You may have a custom list. I know I have a custom list. I have a custom optional list, a stock list. But the way that it's going to come to you is it's going to look at all optional, and I'll set it for 2,000. So we're going to do a scan for all earnings winner, and an earnings winner is defined by a 1% gap without a close on that date. So it gaps up. If it closes, I don't consider that an earnings winner. Or it could have uh, an estimated negative earnings per share, but come out with an actual positive earnings. Now I consider that an earnings winner also. So let me do a scan. It's going to ask you this because I just changed it to 2000. Okay, so we have 1100, almost 1100 companies that reported uh, an earnings that was triggered by this scam. Now, if you use a watch list and you don't have all of those columns to populate all these columns where it has to do all the calculations, it'll pop up pretty fast. Still give you the same information. No one wants to look at 1100 tickers every couple of days. So what you'll do is you'll take this scan that I'm going to share with you, create your own scan, and tell it to scan within this one that I'm sharing with you, which is the KingFib earnings winner. So your scan will scan in the earnings winners, and whether you're looking for squeezes or stochastics at a certain level or RSI at a certain level, that will narrow down this 1100. But you'll only be looking in the what I consider to be earnings winners. Hope all this has been helpful. Like I said, I will put links to the shared items down in the description, and there's more to come. So if you like what you saw and heard, please hit the like button and also the subscribe. That way you'll get notified when I release anything else. Thank you for watching.